Sabatier. I'm sitting down here with Chef Robert Cabareros over at Woodland College in Aromas Cafe. How are you?
I'm very good.
And behind us, we have the students of the Culinary Arts class, cooking, prepping, cleaning. We just ate a wonderful meal today. Can you explain again what it was that we ate? I know there was some Chinese sausage, fried rice.
Right. So, like you said, you mentioned, today we're doing tapa style plates. So we're doing 4 different items for our event tonight, and those will all be on small plates. When I was young, I'm a Lake County kid, so I lived in Lakeport and I went to school there. I worked at the Hong Kong restaurant. I mean, I fell in love with the wok and their station. It was amazing to me to see 1 or 2 cooks stand and be able to handle 40 or 30 or 40 dishes and feed a whole restaurant just by themselves. Each dish taking 1 or 2 minutes. So when I helped develop the kitchen through our Major J. Bond, I knew I was going to get one kind of station that I was going to be able to make different than just your regular culinary school kitchen. So I picked the wok station. So today that's your guys' lunch. We had Chinese sausage, lap chung, and fried rice, and it was served with the wonton. That's one of our smart plates for tonight.
That was delicious.
Thank you.
People at the event tonight have something to look forward to.
Very good.
You said event. I know I've been here before for the CMOS event, the Children's Museum of Arts and Science. They do their event here pretty much annually, and I know that you've done other winery associated events as well. Is that something you guys are big and continuously working together with the community and bringing people here in Aromas Cafe?
So that's we do events like that for a couple of different reasons. One, that it gives our students experience. So I started by teaching catering every other year, but it's become such a popular program, and our caterings have increased so much that I'm teaching that every semester now. So one, it's excellent for our students to be able to walk into a live setting, from the setup to the breakdown to the cleaning to the food of that banquet. I recently obtained some grant money, so now I have table spirits, I have brand new shapers, I have brand new catering equipment. So the setting up, the folding of the napkins, all that is very important for our students to learn. But secondly, it's a service to our community, and that's something that I'm very proud of, that we can partner with different organizations, Rotary, CMAS, the Park Study Club, kind of, the Wine Alliance. We partnered with these organizations because it's helping our community. And in addition to that, now I have the opportunity to put our students in front of a lot of people, and that we've built a really good reputation.
What I wanted to do.
I'm switching roles here. I'm being the interviewer, which I think is kind of important, kind of what we're trying to do today. What can we do to make food service better in Clearlake?
I think for some it's all the accessibility. I mean, the lack of economy makes it difficult to go out to eat, because when you go out to eat, typically it's not just by yourself, it's with your family or things of the kind. And so that changes, like for me, I mean, I'm not exactly on the bottom of the social status, but it's still difficult for me to take my family out all at once to go eat. I think that sometimes part of the issue is I want to go eat at a specific time or a specific day, and it's not always available to me because people aren't, if they're not busy, there's no reason for them to be open, have all their stuff on, have all their workers working when they're not making a profit. Unfortunately, that doesn't always work for whether it's tourists or for specific people. And I think that works for other services rather than just a restaurant as well.
One of the questions, because I did my homework last night, one of the questions that I asked myself last night when I'm writing down these questions is, how can we, because I don't think of Clearlake's restaurants as a destination restaurant, that people might come from Lakeport and from the Oaks, and you know what I mean? How do we increase that? Is it advertising? Is it advertising and marketing? Is it a healthy lake? Is it better networking? Is it working together as a community? How do we get people to come here?
I can give you one example that I think is working really well right now in Clearlake, and that's the spa.
Right.
I think the entertainment factor really brings a draw towards their restaurant. I think their atmosphere with their nice little grassy area, the lake right there, and the docks as well. I mean, people can park their boat right on the docks and come and eat, and then go back on the boat and go back home to Kelseyville or wherever they came from.
Us as old timers, we can remember the lake when it was healthier, and that was just a very interesting date night or a trip where we got into a boat and we got to go to a restaurant and go to either Kanaka Harbor or over to the Sunflower or over to Windflower Point and have pizza. And I think we've lost touch of that a little bit too. And that our lake isn't always completely covered with algae. There's the spring and the fall that we can market these restaurants a little bit better and get people out on the lake to enjoy this community a little bit better.
And one of the things that you're doing tonight, I think, is also part of what's missing is each individual struggling is difficult. And when you come together and say, how do we market ourselves as a restaurant industry, then you have the potential to have advertisement that's a lot cheaper and more affordable to everybody that's out there. It's just hard to make those connections where people have that, I don't know if you want to call it trust, but that ability to work together financially in the same system. Because I know that's what I keep saying to like the Silver Dollar Plaza down south in Lower Lake. I'm like, why don't you guys have a Silver Dollar Plaza ad in the paper? That way you don't have to have your own personal ad. And that way you can really get it out there. And then part of that, I think, is being able to get that kind of industry together. And also, part of that is rebuilding, which is happening right now, and I'm really hoping it's being done in the way that it needs to be done, rebuilding the Chamber of Commerce so that they can also really advertise and market what's going on in Clearlake, around Clearlake, to bring and draw people here. I think the entertainment value, the type of food needs to be somewhat unique compared to just your standard run-of-the-mill. I can find it anywhere around the lake as well. Right. I mean, I know one of the things that I really miss that I can't go to anymore is Zeno's restaurant. To me, that was a unique flavor that you would not find anywhere else around the lake.
You take your boat there too.
Exactly. And so that's what we're missing is that I know, like, let's say, for instance, I used to live in Eureka. There's this place called Hurricane Cakes, where they give you just little tiny dishes, and they're like $5 a plate or $4 a plate, and you end up with 3 or 4 different plates around you, and they're all different little things that are unique. Fire cooked pizza and fire cooked bread and other unique plates that you would get, but not just that, but every table is a big sheet of paper and they give you crayons. And so they end up with huge posters all over the walls of these beautiful artwork that people drew while they were sitting there waiting for the dinner or while they were eating dinner, and it just makes it a very unique and pleasant atmosphere. And I'm not seeing that around here as much as I have in other places.
So are you asking our students to be more creative?
You have to if you want to draw people to you.
I agree. So that's part of what we're doing today. Today we're having an industry night where restaurants come in and we get to network. That's the start of it, because I think tourism, hospitality, restaurant in general, we have to work together. It can't be where this restaurant is popular and they just got it together and then they become more popular. This restaurant's not doing so good, and then this restaurant. I think we need to improve this in Lake County as a whole. We need to work together, and that's kind of where we play our part. Our part is we're training the next chef. We're training the next restaurant manager, the next dining room manager, hopefully the next hospitality manager. And today we're asking the leaders in our industry, what is it that you're looking for from our students? What can we do? So there's my first answer. I think it's a good one. It's that we need to mix it up a little bit, and that we might have to be a little bit more creative. One of the things that I try to do with my students is I have them develop a menu in the beginning, and it's amazing on the similarities. Every semester I see the same kind of things that they're very comfortable with. They have meatloaf, they have a fried chicken, they might have a turkey sandwich, they might have So I give that back to them, and I say, no, we're gonna have to broaden our horizons a little bit. Here's our new online program. There's 20,000 recipes inside. Let's be a little bit more creative, and that kind of gets them going.
And that goes along with what I think needs to happen, not just in the restaurant industry, but everything else around Lake County and Clear Lake.
I agree.
We all want that change. But if we don't get out of our comfort zone, status quo is just going to continue on. So you need to jump out of that comfort zone, feel uncomfortable, which is not a bad thing.
Right.
But it's not where we like to be.
Right. I think we can look back 5 years and go, okay, there hasn't been so much drastic change.
And we all know it's needed.
And we do know that that's needed in this area.
And what's also about going back to your combining the restaurant industry together, not as one, but to more work closely together. When you have a major one that falls through the cracks or retires or whatever is the scenario, everyone else is able to more pick up what's going on and what's left over from that, rather than feeling that empty hole that now is left from somebody who worked by themselves in industry, not part of the overall industry. That way, it's something that can keep the momentum moving rather than having to pick the pieces back up.
Right. Yeah. And that's important too. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. That's not what we're
or walk backwards.
Right. I see the food in Clearlake itself is an enormous opportunity, and somebody might disagree with me completely and wholeheartedly and say, "Oh, the food in Clearlake is just it's subpar and it needs so much work." But that's where we see the opportunity, and we don't see that necessarily as a bad thing, but more of
it's the motivation.
It is. It's that whole, our glass is half full attitude when we approach food service in Clearlake. Make the most of what we got. We know that we're probably not going to have brand new, beautiful restaurants built anytime soon. So it might be taking what we got and just really working on making that better.
I agree. I know that you have your board right there with all of your students and where they've left your culinary arts program and gone into the real world of working at a restaurant or running their own restaurant and things of the kind. That's your motivation factor right there for your students.
This is why we do what we do. So there is a lot of meaning in this, board, and huge success stories. I often like to bring my class in and start my class here, and then I talk about Roy, who came through our program, that came from Napa, that had a very troubled past, that was associated with a gang, and that came here to turn the page, and did that completely, and then moved out into the industry. So now Roy has left Lake County and is working on the island of Maui in two places. His family owned a restaurant in Kihei, Maui, and he's working there, but it's also a sous chef at Cafe Ole. So one huge success story. So one of the things that I try to express to people that I'm trying to talk about my program is we're a money saver. We're not a drain on resources here, because in just a few students I can take an individual off of Social Security or welfare. I can keep a kid out of prison, or from ever going back to prison. To me, those are huge, enormous, and I have a lot of that. I have a lot of stories like that. We all know our community. I don't like to candy coat anything. We live in a tough community, and we have students that come from all walks of life. Very successful. One of my favorite stories here is a student that came directly from Chico State, and he had his bachelor's in foreign affairs and was a French major. And my first question was for him, "What are you doing here? You just graduated." Now he started in fall, so he graduated in the spring semester. He said, it wasn't my passion. When I found out this is my true passion. A very interesting student that went on to work at the Royal Fruit Grill, became the head baker for that restaurant company, and the head baker for the R&D Kitchen, another restaurant in the Yountville area. Huge success story. But we have students from all walks of life. And what we do here is create success, and I think our community sees success in the students and their abilities in restaurants, but also in society. So that we might have kept somebody that came to our system, came to our program from the system, so that he never returns and becomes a repeat offender, or that we might have somebody that has been on welfare for a very long time, and that we train them in culinary arts, and that they might be able to go out and be productive members of our society. There's many stories on that board that are like that. Something that we're really proud of. So.
And they are going through the higher education system.
Right.
That's what it's all about. Is to get you to rise above and break the cycles.
Right. Yeah.
And that's something we definitely need here, is to break the cycle. Trying to build a relationship with the students, with the community, so when they're done here, they can move on right into the community they want to serve.
I'll give you an example. We did a few events for Paul, the owner of Chasewater Winery in Olive Mill in Kelseyville. And we become his go-to crew when he does an event and he needs service people. He calls me. He knows which students I'm going to send. You know, he'll say, I need 5 students. He'll give me a time, and then I just send them off to that event. So,
tell me about you were talking about how you really wanted to focus on specific things in your new kitchen when you upgraded through the Measure J bond that we had here. Talk to us about your previous experience in the much smaller kitchen, which was almost in a...
there's no lack of better words. It was a
not
trailer.
Not even a trailer. Yeah, I want to say trailer.
It was a trailer.
It felt rude. It felt rude to say trailer.
You know, I always wanted to start this interview there. I think that, you know, and at some point we could probably work that in.
Do a transition back here.
But we should go take a look at it and look at where we came from.
Is it still complete?
Yeah, no, well, it's not complete. It's broken down, but you'll get the feeling when you walk in that classroom. What I walked into. We had a small kitchen. I had 4 burners. I had an oven and a half. It was literally like this little mini oven. And I was teaching 25 students baking. I remember now through our kitchen back here, I have 4 ovens. But each group had to, we had to draw straws in the beginning, who got to go first. And then we would have to rotate that because each project that they were working on required different times and different temperatures. So you can imagine what that was. But one of the things that I always said, in Lake County, I thought this was very important. You can't take a kid out of a trailer and then put them in a trailer and expect them to learn the same as a Lake Coronado School, Johnson Wales or the CIA. It's just not the same. It was amazing, the amount of food and fantastic students. A lot of the students that you see on this board here came through that. And one thing that I know those students know is how to face adversity every single day, because that's what that kitchen was.
You had to adapt to your situation.
We were adapting to situations. We didn't have a steamer, so we had to build a steamer. We didn't have a fryer, so we had to make our own fryer. You know what I mean? We had to improvise our way through that, and that's a very valuable chef trait, to improvise or to face adversity and be able to overcome it. So I know that those students there, they all know that very well, because that's what we had to face every day when we were in that kitchen. So we had really humble beginnings, but our program and our core and our philosophy, it really hasn't changed. We're still putting out the same great food. You know, if you have a restaurant and they're mediocre, and then you put them in a brand new restaurant, you're still going to be a mediocre restaurant. So what I think we've accomplished is having really high standards in food and sanitation, and then roll that over into a brand new, beautiful establishment. I have everything here.
And also, I believe that the upgrade made you a very green restaurant, if I'm correct. You were already working on that at the previous
Right.
establishment you had, where your plates, everything that you would use was all biodegradable stuff.
Right.
But now you have the green hardware as well.
So this is a LEED Silver building. LEED Silver is a rating for energy efficiency in commercial buildings. So to obtain LEED Silver was a huge accomplishment. I was a little disappointed that we were 1 point away from LEED Gold, and so to me, I think of ourselves as a LEED Gold restaurant, but I don't think that there's many or any other LEED Silver buildings in the county, and certainly not in the county. So some of the things, we have motion sensors throughout our lights and our heating and air conditioning. We have a state-of-the-art hood fan that will pay for itself in 4 years with energy efficiency. We have a very efficient.
And the more smoke it has, the more the fans go as it produces on itself. You don't have to wait for the manual shift.
We have a very energy efficient dishwasher that conserves both water, which we know that's important in California, and electricity as well. So we compost every single day. Today we have a big bucket of compost we take out to our garden.
Do you still grow your own herbs?
No, we're working on that now. There's been a small gap in our garden committee, but we'll have a meeting here very shortly to talk about all these things.
So you mentioned that you were raised in Lakeport, and I believe you had to leave the county in order to pursue your education and your career, and then you came back. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What made you come back?
After high school, I moved to Hawaii, and I lived with some relatives over there. And then, after about 2 years, my mom called and said, "Hey, there's a really nice culinary program. You should think about that." I went. I did the culinary school program at Woodland College. I had fantastic instructors, programs that I modeled my program after. If it was successful then, it's successful now. When I got done with that, I went to Western Culinary in Portland, Oregon, and I did that school. I did my internship in the Bay Area, and when I was in the Bay Area, most of us from Lake County can't live in the Bay Area. It's just a different pace. So I was itching to get out of there. When I was leaving one time, I looked over to the right going through Middletown, and Mount St. Helena Brewing had just been built. So when I got home, it was like 8:30, and I picked up the phone and I said, "I got to call this place and see if they're working." I'm fresh out of school. So I called the owners, said, "Are you kidding me? I just let go of our sous chef tonight. Can you be here tomorrow for an interview?" So I'll be there. I had the next day off. I came down. I did an interview. They hired me, and that's my history back in Lake County. Never looked back. Love Lake County, and I probably won't make that mistake in leaving here again.
And I believe what's really awesome is that the same story can come from the new dean of Woodland College,
absolutely.
where she also left the area. She was raised here. She left. I think she went to Nevada, the state of Nevada, for a little while, where she got her higher education, and then came back because this is where she wanted to raise her children. And to have two important people at Woodland College that have that kind of story and that much love and care for their community, I think speaks volume on where the college is going and how much you might be able to inspire the students that you have to also reach for the stars and get what they want.
We have to play our part. That's our duty as a resident here, in that we all have a part to play in the success of this community. And I think we've lost sight of that a little bit, in that now we're in this resurgence of taking responsibility and playing our part. I know that my part is here on the Clearlake campus in teaching culinary arts, and encourage our students to go out and to create a better scene, and to be good employees for our county's restaurants.
That sounds wonderful. I'm not going to take much more of your time. You have a meeting, it seems, that's coming up in a minute or so. So, Chef Robert.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love the food, and we'll be coming back.
Thank you.
Make sure it was watered, make sure it was growing, make sure it was healthy. 12 of them, 12 coconut trees. Most of them are still in the park. Yep. But I thought that was really cool. You know, raise that coconut tree. Tell me how he do it. I'm sorry, it's just kind of. Anyway, it's called Kuamana. always surrounded by this mist that circles the top. And there's mountains on the other islands that have the same thing that happens. And that is called a pohai lani, when there's clouds in circle. And you know, and there's this a saying that heaven is where the three mountains pierces the sky. Hawaii. Okay, so this is called Wahine Ilikea for all you fair-skinned women out there tonight. So this song is called Hanalei Moon. Another oldie but goodie. When you see Hanalei by moonlight, you will be in heaven by the sea. Every breeze On the lake.